the leader of press service of State Service on Emergency, Nataliya Bystra. Good morning, dear colleagues. I would like to inform you about activities of the State Service on Emergency to organize evacuation of the population from Donetsk region. The situation in Avdiivka and Debaltseve is very difficult. There is no centralized water, heat, and electricity supplies. Those towns are under shelling constantly, shelling of terrorists. And that's why our service at present focused its efforts on how, in cooperation with local authorities, volunteer and organizations and civic organizations, how to organize secure movement of people out of Donetsk region, especially of those towns that are under shutdown. Less than in 2 weeks from Avdiivka, we took away, evacuated more than 1,000 people. From the Balts and other villages, around 2,827 people. And also from Avdiivka and Debaltseve, 845 children, including. Because we used 2 armored vehicles, KRAS, that were provided to our service during the previous days. We were succeeded under the shelling of terrorists to take out from Lykhovatka and Chernuhova about 150 people, including 20 children. But because of active battles and to organize evacuation from Avdiivka, Debaltseve, Svilodarsk, and near villages, we don't have such a chance. Yesterday, like before, we prepared buses and 2 armored vehicles to evacuate people. But because of the constant shelling, leaders of anti-terror ATO did not allow these vehicles to those towns and villages just because they don't want people to be in danger. And according to our data, the headquarters to solve the situation says that the people are waiting for that transportation means just to move out. And we ask international organizations and OSCE to help us to build humanitarian corridors for us to evacuate people, like we did during the previous days, for example, on the 7th of February, when because of the Green Corridor, we evacuated more than 700 people, including 100 children. Local people continue to leave dangerous territories on their own. During yesterday, 2 transit points of IDPs, which we organized in Slaviansk and Konstantinivka, 437 people came, and 87, including 87 children. With the help of volunteers, they left those towns that are under shelling. In those points, they received the first aid and the psychological support, and we have our psychologists there. People came in a very difficult mental condition, and they were under stress, and they received information on possible places where to move in Ukraine, and also elementary issues were solved, like social, for example, food and warm things. About 100 people who decided where they will move. They were delivered to Kiev, transported to Kiev free of charge, and then from Kiev they will be transported further. Starting from January 28, from Avdiivka, Svilodarsk, Debaltseve, and villages around, our volunteers and our service, with the support of local authorities, we evacuated 5,238 people, and including 961 children and 80 people who were disabled. As I mentioned, in addition to organized evacuation of people leave dangerous territories on their own. And then they speak to our regional headquarters in Donetsk region and also in regions of Ukraine. That's why officially the official number of IDPs from Donetsk and Luhansk region is growing up. In addition to organizing evacuation of population and movement of people to secure regions, we continue to work on delivering humanitarian aid to people who are there in Avdiivka, Debaltseve, Rodinsk, and others. In Debaltseve, people mostly hide in cellars and in bomb shelters. And shelters and volunteers and rescue groups that delivered to those places. They delivered food, water, and blankets, pillows, mattresses, and even several boxes with candles. Additionally, we delivered 11 generators and 30 ovens with hot fuel. So we are trying to find oil, diesel for generators. Yesterday, we failed to get to the Debaltseve and to deliver humanitarian aid, including food, mattresses, blankets, and diesel fuel and petrol was delivered to Avdiivka. During the previous days, we delivered 8 generators and 30 ovens and food kits. People who left Avdiivka on their own and who are in Rodinsk, that's about 100 people. We delivered water, blankets, hygiene sets, and food sets, more than 100 sets of different canned meat, canned fish. Thank you very much. No questions. One person. Tell me, please, are there people who are encircled? How many of them? And what are the plans how to evacuate them? I told you that every day we are trying to evacuate people. About the plans for today, I will not tell you. That's dangerous for those people. But even if there is a small chance, we will try to evacuate those people. Could we speak about encirclement? I cannot tell you anything about that. How will you comment information that evacuated from the Debaltseve? They refuse to register them as IDPs. That question was asked here yesterday. People who move from the Debaltseve and from Avdiivka and from towns and villages, they register in our regional offices, and they will be included. Those territories will be included into the list of regions or where there are active battles, and these issues will be will be solved very soon. People will get aid. Is it possible? People call us from occupied territories. Is it possible how to organize people to? Is it possible to evacuate people from Donetsk? Is there procedures to evacuate from there? People started to call after the explosion. People started to call us, and they would like to leave from occupied territories. Our service cannot organize evacuation of people. That issue was even discussed half a year ago when all of this started. I hope that volunteers will help, or people will find the way how to get out of there. That's what I can tell you right now. Later, when they are on Ukrainian territory, they can call our offices, and they will provide everything we need, everything we can. The most important is to get out of Donetsk and from that territory, and then we will help them. So all the algorithm. I want clarification. Was there a coordination meeting of representatives of states, service on emergency, and volunteers just to solve this issue? Because There is a problem not only in Donetsk, but also in other cities which are further from the line of separation. We have such meetings on a regular basis, and we cooperate with volunteers. And I have information that yesterday, Donetsk Oblast administration, they created an advisory council of volunteers, and they will deal with these issues too. Colleagues, do you have any question? Thank you very much, Natalia, for information. We hope that we will see you here on a regular basis, and we will get information, new data about the work of the State Service. Our next brief.